Want to grow healthier, faster, and tastier vegetables right in your backyard? Discover why raised garden beds might just be your best gardening upgrade yet. Welcome back to Don't Do This Guide, your go-to channel for everything gardening, where we help you avoid common mistakes and grow like a pro. Today we're diving deep into the world of raised bed gardening. Get ready to transform your backyard into a thriving vegetable oasis. If you love smart gardening tips, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss out on future videos packed with actionable advice. Let's get started. So, you're ready to take your gardening game to the next level? Let's talk about why raised garden beds are a game changer. First off, picture this. No more battling compacted soil or poor drainage. Raised beds give you complete control over your growing environment. You get to create the perfect soil blend for your veggies to thrive in. And speaking of thriving, get ready for healthier, more productive plants. With improved drainage, you'll say goodbye to root rot and hello to robust growth. Plus, that loose, fertile soil makes it easier for roots to spread out and access nutrients. But it's not just about the plants, it's about you too. Raised beds mean less bending over and easier access for planting, weeding, and harvesting. No more backaches after a long day in the garden. And let's not forget about those pesky weeds. With raised beds, you're creating a defined growing area, making it much easier to control those unwanted invaders. Less weeding means more time to enjoy the fruits, or should I say vegetables, of your labor. In short, raised beds offer a winning combination of improved plant health, higher yields, and a more enjoyable gardening experience. Whether you're working with limited space, poor soil, or just want to simplify your gardening routine, raised beds are a fantastic option. Now let's move on to the next chapter and talk about the key ingredient for success: the soil. All right, let's talk dirt. Getting your soil mix right is the foundation for a thriving raised bed garden. Remember, we're not just filling these beds with any old soil, we're creating a nutrient-rich haven for our vegetables. The magic formula? A blend of topsoil, compost, and aeration. Think of topsoil as the base, providing essential nutrients and structure. Compost is the gold, the magic ingredient that fuels plant growth. It adds essential nutrients, improves soil structure, and enhances drainage. And don't forget aeration. Adding elements like perlite or vermiculite creates air pockets in the soil, allowing roots to breathe and preventing compaction. A good rule of thumb is to aim for a soil mix that's roughly 40% topsoil, 40% compost, and 20% aeration amendments. But building a great soil is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. Throughout the growing season, continue to nourish your soil with additional compost or aged manure. This will replenish nutrients and keep those beneficial microbes happy. And remember, healthy soil means healthy plants, which ultimately leads to a bountiful harvest. So invest the time and effort to create the best possible foundation for your raised bed garden. Now that we've got the soil sorted, let's talk about what we're planting. With your raised bed prepped and ready, it's time to talk about the stars of the show, the vegetables. Now you can grow just about anything in a raised bed, but some vegetables absolutely thrive in this environment. Let's start with the classics, tomatoes. Tomatoes love the warm, well-drained soil that raised beds provide. Plus, you can easily stake or cage them for optimal support. Next up, leafy greens, lettuce, spinach, kale. They all flourish in the loose, fertile soil of a raised bed. And the best part? You can easily succession plant them for a continuous harvest throughout the season. Carrots and radishes are also great choices. The loose soil allows for those long, straight roots to develop without resistance. And since you have complete control over the soil composition, you can avoid those funky-shaped carrots that sometimes pop up in compacted ground. Don't forget about peppers. They love the heat and drainage that raised beds offer. Just make sure to give them plenty of sunshine and consistent watering. These are just a few examples, but the possibilities are endless. Experiment with different varieties and see what grows best in your raised bed. Up next, we'll dive into spacing and companion planting to maximize your yield. All right, let's talk plant strategy. Proper spacing and companion planting are key to maximizing your yield and creating a thriving ecosystem in your raised bed. First up, spacing. It's tempting to cram as many plants as possible into your raised bed, but trust me, giving them room to breathe is crucial. Overcrowding leads to competition for resources, reduced airflow, and increased risk of disease. Each vegetable has its own ideal spacing requirements, so be sure to check the seed packet or plant tag for guidance. As a general rule of thumb, smaller plants like lettuce and spinach can be spaced closer together, while larger plants like tomatoes and peppers need more room. Now let's talk companion planting. This is where things get really interesting. Companion planting is all about strategically pairing plants that benefit each other. For example, planting basil alongside your tomatoes can help deter pests and improve flavor. Marigolds are another great companion plant, known for their ability to repel nematodes and other harmful insects. Experiment with different combinations and observe how your plants interact. You might be surprised at the positive impact companion planting can have on your garden's health and productivity. Now that we've covered spacing and companion planting, let's move on to another crucial aspect: watering. Watering is the lifeblood of your garden, and it's especially important in raised beds, where soil tends to dry out faster. But don't worry, we've got you covered with some efficient watering techniques that actually work. First and foremost, consistency is key. Instead of sporadic deep watering, aim for more frequent, shallower watering. This helps maintain consistent moisture levels in the root zone, promoting healthy growth. One of the most effective ways to water your raised beds is with a soaker hose or drip irrigation system. These methods deliver water directly to the soil, minimizing evaporation and reducing the risk of foliar diseases. If you're hand watering, try to water in the morning or evening when temperatures are cooler. This reduces water loss due to evaporation and allows the plants to absorb moisture throughout the day. And here's a pro tip: mulch, mulch, mulch. Adding a layer of organic mulch like straw or wood chips around your plants helps retain moisture, suppresses weeds, and regulates soil temperature. Remember, overwatering can be just as detrimental as underwatering. Always check the soil moisture before watering by sticking your finger about an inch deep into the soil. If it feels dry, it's time to water. Now that we've mastered watering, let's move on to keeping those pesky pests at bay. Let's face it, no one wants to share their hard-earned harvest with pests. The good news is, you can protect your precious veggies without resorting to harmful chemicals. One of the simplest and most effective methods is using row covers. These lightweight fabrics create a physical barrier that prevents pests from reaching your plants. Plus, they offer some protection from extreme temperatures and heavy rain. Another strategy is to invite beneficial insects to the party. Ladybugs, lacewings, and praying mantises are just a few examples of nature's pest control agents. Attract them to your garden by planting a diverse array of flowering plants. Hand-picking pests might not be the most glamorous task, but it's a surprisingly effective way to keep populations in check. Regularly inspect your plants for any signs of infestation and remove any culprits you find. Neem oil is another natural alternative that can help deter pests and treat fungal diseases. It's a botanical insecticide derived from the neem tree and is generally safe for humans and pets. Remember, prevention is key when it comes to pest control. By creating a healthy growing environment, attracting beneficial insects, and practicing good garden hygiene, you can significantly reduce the likelihood of pest problems. Now let's wrap things up with some common mistakes to avoid in your raised bed garden. We've covered a lot of ground today, but before we wrap up, let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid in your raised bed garden. First up, overcrowding. I know, we already touched on this, but it's worth repeating. Giving your plants enough space is crucial for air circulation, nutrient absorption, and disease prevention. Next, neglecting soil preparation. Remember, your soil is the foundation of your garden's success. Don't skimp on building a nutrient-rich, well-draining mix. Another common mistake is forgetting to rotate crops. Crop rotation helps prevent soil-borne diseases and pests from becoming established in your garden. Overwatering or underwatering can also spell trouble for your plants. Pay attention to the soil moisture and adjust your watering schedule accordingly. And lastly, don't be afraid to experiment. Gardening is a journey of learning and discovery. Try different plant varieties, companion planting combinations, and pest control methods to see what works best in your garden. By avoiding these common mistakes and implementing the tips we've discussed today, you'll be well on your way to growing the best veggies of your life. There you have it, the ultimate guide to growing the best vegetables in your raised garden bed. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe, Leave a like and drop your gardening questions or experiences in the comments below. Remember, gardening is a journey, not a destination. Embrace the process, experiment, and most importantly, have fun. Until next time, happy gardening.